Okay, today is October 21st, 2024. So I decide to reproduce a video regarding the compressor comparison test. I made one the other day, and I recorded a couple of videos talking about the comparison test I did, and I just discovered the setting for OBS, the screen recorder on my laptop. So I just decided to do an illustrating video with compressor settings and the sound and the GUI of all the compressors that I've got. So as I did the test days, previous days, no, I came to realize a lot of things about the compressors that I've got, and now I'm gonna insert a drum loop to the session and to the test. I picked up a loop from that sound. This is a recording of a live drum set. So live drum is the best sample for testing compression because it has a wide range of dynamics. So let's hear it out. Let's turn up the volume a little bit. So I have loaded a ton of compressors, a bunch of compressors that I've owned on 3 different tracks because I don't want the chain to be too long. I want to separate them into 3 tracks with the same drum loop. So I want to see how different compressors react in response to the same live drum loop. So as I mentioned previously in previous videos, I've got a couple of transparent, neutral, digital compressors. For example, the Ableton compressor, Ableton Clue compressor, the H compressor by Waves, the Fab Filter Pro C2, and R compressor from Waves. And yeah, I think this is it. I don't know if I miss any. Yeah, basically that's all the compressors. Transparent, which have no harmonics or have no coloring of the sounds they produce. They just do their job, which is reducing the dynamic. So these could be versatile, helpful tools when it comes to like handling the dynamics of audio tracks. But today for the test, I want to compare the sound of different brands which made plugins based on the hardware units. So these are emulation plugins. So we've got the brands like Acoustica, Waves, Brandworks, Elysia, Softtube, and UAD. So the trial mode of the UAD ABLETON is gonna run out in 2 days. So this is the right moment to do this test. So let's dive into it. So I just spent last 10 minutes dialing the setting of these compressors. Now I'm gonna um, adjust the thresholds to get about I think 3 to 4 dB of compression of gain reduction, and all the attack and release and the ratio are like almost identical, the same amount like throughout all the compressors that I've got, because I want to conduct fair a fair and even-handed test. So just to see with the same setting, with the same drum loop, different compressors would bring out like something to the game. Like in the previous test, I've got a room, a drum, a room recording, and some compressors would bring out the transient of the drum sets. Some compressors would bring forward the room background, the sound of the room. Some would render the loop like pretty dull and uninteresting. So today I've got to make visually fascinating test right in front of my eyes with two recorders being played at the moment. So let's go. So here we've got the original drum test. So because I'm gonna add the makeup gain in the compressor, so first up let's lower the volume of these compressor of these audio tracks to about -3. Okay, I don't want to get clipping at the output of these tracks. Okay, this is -4 on the main the two bus meter. Okay, so the first one is the ABLETON stock compressor. So the ratio would be 3-1, 3-1. The attack would be about 30 to 35 milliseconds. The release would be about from 95 to 110 milliseconds. So I just want to retain the transients of the loop. So here we've got about -4 dB of gain reduction. Now let's turn the makeup gain about 2 dB. Now turn off the plugin. So yeah, we've got neutral transparent compressor right at the very beginning of the chain of the test to to like set out a standard, a benchmark to compare other plugins too. So so the ABLETON compressor is doing a very good job in handling the transients and reducing a little bit of dynamics, because I just want to um, get a couple of dB of gain reduction, not too much, like minus 10 or like a 10 to 15 dB of gain reduction. That's too drastic. Next up is the TubeTech CL1B. We've got a lot to discuss here. So the GUI of this plugin is fantastic, just like the hardware unit. You just see we've got the ratio about 3 right here. Attack, slow attack and fast release. Now I'm gonna crank up the threshold. That's a bit lagging because I'm opening a lot of plugins at the same time, and I'm recording the screen as well. So I'm trying to get about 3 to 4 dB of gain reduction. So it's been stopped. I think it can handle the GUI of the plugin. It's been stopped right there. So in the previous test, I tried out and I compared the TubeTech CL1B from SoftTube to the titanium of Acoustica audio, which is emulated after the CL1B. So the titanium gave me a low end bump. The low end range is way louder than the mid and the top end of the audio results, and I kinda dislike that. So we've got here. So we've got about 4 dB of gain reduction right now. Now let's get 2 dB of makeup gain. Okay, now let's turn off the plugin. I'm bypassing it now on. Off. On. Yeah, it's pretty well balanced across the frequency spectrum, right? Let's try out the titanium. So the TubeTech CL1B MK2 from SoftTube does excellent job. It nails it. Okay. Next up is the titanium compressor. Ratio, slow attack, fast release, the threshold. So I'm gonna dial in the setting before playing the audio. I don't want my my computer to crash. So no gain reduction yet. Wow, it's pretty heavy. So my laptop constantly. So more the threshold in order to get gain reduction, get the compression not working. Okay, about 2 to 2.5. Okay, more. We need more. Okay. Okay. Next up, 2 dB of makeup gain. Let's go. Now, without the plugin, the titanium, with it, off, on. So as you can see, this is an acoustic drum set, and this titanium compressor, it brings forward the low end too much, so much so that um, it it drums the mid range and the top end. Is pretty powerful compressor, I've got to say. So let me delete redundant tracks on this session to lower the CPU consumption. Just I should have done this before recording the video, like that. The video has been going on for 18 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of the delay, return track, the reverb, the stereo now, the tubas. Okay. Next up is so far we have compared 3 compressors. The ABLETON compressor, the soft tube tech 01B, and the titanium. So for transparent compressors, it's just reducing the dynamics, but for hardware emulation compressors, it brings about a little bit of harmonics, some coloring, and each compressor would like have its own sonic characteristic, its own color. So next up is the UAD LA2A. I've got 3 LA2A emulation plugins. One from UAD, one from Waves, and one from Slate Digital. In the previous test, the LA2A from Slate Digital, it was probably the worst among the 3. So I just disposed that unit in this test, and I just want to compare opto compressors uh, LA2A from UAD, CLA2A from waves, and other opto compressors, which I'm gonna show to you in a minute. So UAD LA2A, let's go. It's a bit lacking. Now I'm gonna crank up the peak reduction to get some compression going. Oh, that's way too high. So I can see um, the, the meter on the LA2A moving, because I think as I open up the GUI of the plugin is a bit overwhelming for my laptop to handle. I think I'm gonna increase the buffer size um, in this session. So at the moment it is 512. I'm gonna uh, increase increase it to 1024. That's way too lagging. I find a really hard time reading the meter here. Okay, now let's try it one more time. Oh, the meter is jumping all over the place. It's kind of annoying. Really? Pretty annoying. Oh my god, I'm stuck at this LA2A for too long. More peak reduction. More. Okay, 4 dB of gain reduction. Now make up gain. So this is an opto compressor, so it is pretty different from other usual compressors. It just has two knobs, like peak reduction, which is a compression knob, and makeup gain. So just lower the threshold until you get the compression you want, and you make up the output gain. So without the plugin, with it, so it's a pretty good compressor. In the previous test and now in this test, I think this compressor is a must-have for any engineers. And like actually, I have seen many engineers and mixers around the world using that plugin, so it is so evident, right? Next up is an opto compressor from BrandWorks. It has just the same function as this LA2A. Now, I'm gonna be extremely careful here and get just 4 dB, exact 4 dB of gain reduction. Okay, now output gain 2 dB. Now off. I think when comparing the BrandWorks Opto to the UAD LA2A, the UAD LA2A is infinitely better because the BrandWorks Opto like it is pushing the sound away, just like to the back, not like in front of me. I don't know why. This LA2A is pretty aggressive in a positive way, or maybe it's just louder. I'm gonna back it up, the gain makeup of the LA2A. Listen back to these two optotones. Okay, that's my fault because the LA2A one is way louder than the opto. That's why I consider it a bit in the back. So I think the LA2A is a bit brighter and the opto is dull, a little bit more dull. This is the LA2A one. This is the BrandWorks opto. Yeah, the LA2A is better. Let's have a sip, a coffee. Okay, next up is the ACME Opticom XLA3A from BrandWorks. So, wow, that's way too aggressive. Okay. Okay, 4 dB of gain reduction. Now output gain. So this compressor gives me 3 different response modes. So slow, normal, and fast. So I think it's like the attack on normal compressors, how quickly it compresses the signal. Okay. So when I switch to the slow response, it clamps down all the transients of the loop right away. I want to turn up the volume more. This is without a plugin. Another plugin. So I'm gonna turn back to the fast response. Fast respawn. I think fast respawn equals to fast release rather than fast attack, because the faster the attack is, the quicker it clamps down the transient, right? So response on this unit is like it must be the release. So sorry for that. Okay, so that's the XLA3 from Brainworks. Okay, next up we've got CLA2A. So Chris Lord Elch has collaborated with Waves, and they released this plugin. Sorry, it's a bit laggy. Yeah, the Opticom renders a pretty punchy and stable dynamics. I think it is a decent compressor, honestly. I think CPU is overwhelming right now. It slows out every click I do. I'm gonna delete audio tracks here. Okay, next up we've got CLA2A from Waves. Sorry for being interrupted by the tardiness of my laptop. It's a pretty weak operating system. Okay, let's go. Wow. This plugin has way too much output gain here. Okay, now 4 dB. Without a plugin. I'm gonna compensate again with it, and I'm gonna compare the CLA2A to the ABLETON. I don't know if they are equally loud, and let's try. They're not. I'm gonna lower the makeup gain and the CLA2A to make a fair test between these. Okay, this is the UAD. This is the original, the CLA. So the UAD LA2A adds a bunch of brightness to the audio, unlike the the LA2A from waves uh, is not changing the frequency of the audio loop. Okay. So the CLA2HS produce a pretty tight and stable sound of compression, and the UAD LA2A affects to the frequency of not only the dynamics but the frequency of the audio track. So yeah, I think each has its own character. We can say one is better than another. It's unreasonable to say that. So as soon as this is with the UAD, this is without, so it immediately like shoots you with the brightness. So next up is a CLA but 3A from waves. Let's see if it is just has the same compression as the CLA2A. Okay, 4 dB. Now CLA2A. CLA3A. The original loop, 2A. I'm gonna close my eye and evaluate it. I think it, like they do not sound identical 100%. They are just a little bit insignificantly different between these two units. So I'm gonna move on to the next compressor, the R-Vox. Just fader. The more, the lower you move the fader, the compression, the more compressed sound you've got. Okay, let's go. Four dB of gain reduction. This is the original loop with R-Vox. So it's in your face. It's punchy, undoubtedly. It's a good compressor. Yeah. Next up is the arouser. Arouser is, I think, is emulated after the renowned distressor from Empirical Labs. So this arouser compressor is from Empirical Labs as well. So I have dialed in the setting. Now we're gonna play the audio. Okay. 4 dB of gain reduction, precisely. This is with the slow release, this is the fast release. So 103 milliseconds and 31.2 millisecond of attack. It is innately adds too much gain, makeup gain. This is the original look. This is with arouser. It is an excellent job. Now let's add more gain, makeup gain. This is without, with arouser. Wow, it offers a punchy and very very good sounding compression to my ears personally. Okay, I'm gonna take it off and bring it on to see the effect of this compression one more time. This is the original drum loop. So, yeah, it's a good compressor. Even though it has a soft clipping and THD feature on it, like saturation stuff with harmonics, but I didn't bring them on because I just want a fair test, just want to evaluate the compression between the compressors, not the additional features. So let me have a check right here. Okay, so 42 minutes. So we've been going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 compressors on the first track. So I'm gonna turn this off. Now let's bring on the second track, which has a bunch of acoustic plugins. Okay. First up, the tape comp. Okay, ratio free, attack, fast release. So let's go. Okay, 4 dB of gain reduction. Now with the makeup gain, oh, it's way too lacking. Let's be patient, shall we? Makeup gain, come on. Let's go. I think this is the second time I make a compressor masterclass where I compare a bunch of compressors that I have owned so far. The makeup gain is turned up just a little bit now. Now the compressor off. On. Yeah, I think it has a pretty distinct color and texture, but nothing too special or like too special to talk about. So let's move on to the pink. The pink plugin from Acoustica Audio is emulated after the API 2500 compressor. So let's go. the release is about 100 um 40 milliseconds, 30 milliseconds of attack, 3:1 ratio. Just lower the threshold until it gets compressing. Here we go. We've got about 4 dB of gain reduction right now. Now make up gain. Without a plugin, with the ping. Oh, sounds fantastic. Like it accounts for almost 40% of the CPU power. Wow, this compressor is so powerful in terms of CPU consumption, and the compression is got bypass with it. I know it's louder than the original loop, but it's got a sound, right? It's undebatable. I just lowered the makeup gain a little bit. Now let's try it one more time for the pink. It sounds 3D, like a lot of people say it sounds very 3D. Wow, it's amazing. Wow, I'm impressed. Next up, the sound from Acoustica is an emulation of the SSL G-Bus, and I've got the Waves SSL right here as well. So attack, release, ratio, now threshold until 4 dB of gain reduction. Okay, one more time. It's compressing without makeup gain. Okay. Off. On. Now 2 dB of makeup gain. Now off. Without a plugin. With the plugin. Yeah, it is impressive. It's impressive, okay? So, by doing a comparison test like this, I get to like understand more, and like have more insights and understanding of how these compressors work, and in the future when I need to use a compressor, I know what to choose, I know what to find. Next up is the Amethyst 4 from Acoustica. It is emulated after I think it's an AMEC compressor. So metal. The meter is It's a bit tiny. I can see it moving. I think it's because my computer is crashing a little bit. Now 3 dB of gain reduction. Okay, now with makeup gain. I think every 10 seconds the computer is crashing without the plugin. With the plugin. Wow. So just like two previous acoustic compressors, it sounds fantastic. So just for each context and situation, I would need a flavor. Like it could be amethyst or sand or the pink. Next is the array, curated by Greg Wells, an eminent mixing engineer. So slow, attack, fast release, threshold. dB of gain reduction. Two dB of makeup gain. Okay. Bypass. On. Wow, it brings forward the mid-range, the snare. I think it brings about a resonance in the snare that I find pretty annoying. But this array is good though. I like you can imagine like the low range is here, the hi-hat, the snare is here, and this array brings about the bridge, like in this, the low, the top end like this. So it provides you this range, connected the loop, the frequency range of this loop, pretty amazing. It's pretty good in the mid-range. So yeah, the array from Acoustica is pretty. It's got a pretty coherent and cohesive sound. Next up, I'm gonna try the magenta from Acoustica. This is actually a Manly Very-Moo. Okay, let's go with the magenta. Now threshold. So the video is recorded for nearly an hour. So we have been half the way of the video. Okay, 4 dB now. Back up again. Okay. This is with the plugin. Without a plugin. So I think this magenta brings out a little bit more low end compared to the mid range and the top end, but it's pretty like in your chest. It's really punchy in the mid range, which I find pretty attractive morally. Like it turns the acoustic drum loop like this into like a hip hop boom bap drum loop right away because of the punchiness it offers. So what is magical about the makeup gain knob in acoustical plugins? Like as soon as you just turn it up just a little bit and you get really massive sound. It's like 10 dB of makeup gain. Okay, so the magenta is really impressive. Let's go with the midnight. So the midnight is a Pew Trial 670 a famous compressor. So the midnight, we've got threshold, attack, recovery, makeup, and other settings, which I'm not gonna touch. Okay, lower the threshold. I think you can see. Okay, I think this is 4 dB of gain reduction. Okay, it's a bit quiet. This is without a plugin. So as soon as I toggle on the plugin, it's way. I think I find a pretty hard time reading the meter. It's so tiny. Back up again more. Okay, now the plugin off. Now the plugin on. Wow, it's a bit over compressed. I am not a big fan of this type of compression. So I've got other I've got other Fairchild emulation, which I'm gonna show in a minute. Let's move on. Let's move towards the end of the second track. Here we've got Purple Audio MC77, so powered by Plugin Alliance. This is a fat compressor. The interface is kind of like the 1176. So what we've got here is 4:1 ratio, fastest release, and medium attack. Now let's get some compression. It's doing pretty aggressive gain reduction here. It almost changes the sound. Let's lower the output a little bit. So the function of fat compressor is a bit different from other compressors. Wow, wow, wow. It's so nasty and over compressed without a plugin. With the plugin, wow, it's way too drastic. Now let's go for a GOAT competitor, which is the CLA76 and emulation after the 1176. Let's go. Okay, bypass. Yes, the CLA76 does a great job in not only the dynamics but the loudness. Yes, I think I prefer the sound of the CLA76. Yes, I like it better than the MC77. And you know what? Every engineer uses the CLA76, even Serban Guinier and John Hans. So that's a monster compressor. So we finished two tracks. Like a bunch of compressors have been tested. Now we are moving to the third track, which has a chain of different compressors. The first one is the SSL com from Waves. This is the SSL G bus. The videos has been recorded for over an hour, so I'm gonna end it soon. Let's be more patient a little bit. Okay, let's turn the loop on. Ratio, release, attack. Lower the threshold until it gets 4 dB compression. Okay, 2 dB of makeup gain. It's 4 o'clock and I haven't drunk all of my coffee yet. That's the last sip. This is truly a compression masterclass. Now bypass. Yeah, it compressors, the signal just enough to get the dynamic stable without jumping too much on the meter. So I think the SSL compressor is a pretty safe option when it comes to reducing the dynamics, and with a bit of hardware color. So in order to get uh, the whole mix plus gluing, uh, get them glued, SSL com is pretty good choice. Next up is a Fairchild emulation. This is the unfair child wordplay. Unfair child 670. So this is from Undertone Audio, and you know who's behind this, right? Eric Valentine. So let's try it out. I installed it the other week. I have been big on the sound of this compressor, even though it accounts for half of my CPU power. This plugin. So 4 dB of gain reduction. It has an input gain and a threshold knob. So the threshold is all the way up to 10. Now I'm gonna increase the input gain to get 4 dB of gain reduction. Okay, and the meter is jumping to 5, right? So back it off to 10 in the input gain. Okay, 4 dB of gain reduction. Without it, so now with makeup gain, I'm gonna dial in a bit makeup gain. Okay. Plugin off. Plugin on. Wow. Even though it is set to slow attack mode and fast release mode, it's still compressing a lot. I think I'm gonna get a bit of output gain just to see how effective it is. This is with the compression, without the compression. Yeah, it is just the loudness story. So the Unfetcher is obviously a good one, and I haven't read the manual of that. I'm going to see how to effectively use all the functions of this compressor unfair child. It has a hardware unit in real life. The unfair child, which costs more than $10,000, with this plugin just $100, is criminally cheap and affordable. Now the glue from Cytomic. Okay, 4 dB. Okay, 2 dB of makeup gain, fastest release tag ratio to without a plugin with the glue. Even though I set it to 2 dB, but it's not equally loud to the uncompressed signal. Let's get it 3 without the plugin. With the plugin, yeah, it it does wonders when it comes to gluing the loop together. It's a safe option, just like the SSL com. If you want, just um, a, a glue to the mix, and it's a safe compressor to work with. So the glue or the SSL com are the way to go. Next up, we've been doing this for a while. Okay. Next up is the DBX 160 from Waves. This is a pretty unusual compressor. Not the sounds, but the the feature and the knobs it's got is a bit different. So compression. Okay, now makeup again. This is with the DBX 160. This is without. With it. So it deprives the low end of the loop. When I bypass it, I can feel the bum, the low end, the boom, the bum in the low end. But as soon as I turn it on, it's like just 100 hertz and above. The low end, the low sonic thing is lost. Yeah. Next up, Elysia compressor, powered by Plugin Alliance. So I dialed in the setting. Now let's hear the sound it's got. Okay, next up, makeup again. The plugin off. Oh, it's lacking again. Yeah, it's compressing the signal without affecting too much on the frequency. It's a safe plugin. Just I think I can call it, even though it is emulated after a hardware unit. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the Alpha has a hardware unit. I don't know about the compressor from the Elysia, but it's pretty transparent, right? Like just the Pro C2 or the H compressor or the ABLETON compressor. So without and with it, yeah, it's pretty transparent. It's just reducing the dynamics. Next up is the Pewchild 6700 no, 670. Just like a fragile emulation, um, like the Midnight from Acoustica and the Unfragile from Undertone Audio. This plugin is a bit old compared to other emulation. It's way too loud. I'm gonna back the input gain knob a bit. It's way too loud. Wow. This is the first time I'm talking before the camera for almost an hour and a half. I'm not exhausted. I really love what I'm doing. Okay, 4 dB. Now makeup gain 2 dB. And it's got 6 different options. It's called time constant, which different attack and release settings. You can manually set up the attack and release time. Is sorry. It's got 6 time constant presets that you could choose, and the Unfragile from Undertone is way different from the original hardware. It provides you with the option of manually tweaking and dialing the attack and the release time that you want. Okay. So I'm gonna just use the first time constant option. Let's balance the gain before and after. Wow, it's just the sound is a bit brittle and a little bit harsh to my ears. Like it brings forward the hi-hats at the top end of the loop. I'm not gonna like it as just the Unfragile or the Midnight. So just with 3 dB of makeup gain, you've got a pretty unpleasant sound. So move on to the Poser Moo, which is also a very Moo emulation. This time the very Moo. This is Poser Moo from Poser Audio. So we've got slow attack. This compressor is hard to maneuver. So let's see how can I handle. Okay, 4 dB of gain reduction. Now the output. This is way more challenging to get it sound right compared to the magenta. Now with again the makeup gain. I noticed that some compressors that I have tested, uh, it it like they they get the resonance on the snare, the annoying resonance popping out, popped out, and we have to deal with it by using the EQ to notch it out. Oh my god, it's not responding. I think it's way too much for my laptop to handle. So we've got 4 compressors to go: the Vertigo VS C2 and the Lindau SPC. Okay, back. This is before. This is after. So is certainly compresses the signal. Nothing too special. Okay, next up, the Vertigo VSC2 by BrandWorks, powered by Plugin Alliance. Now 4 dB of gain reduction. Okay. Ratio to attack. This is the VCA compressor, just like the Glue or the SSL, cheapest. Makeup gain. So VCA compressor commonly offers you ratio of 2 to 1 or 4 to 1, not 3. So in this test, I'm not gonna use the sidechain filter to keep it fair among the compressors. Now 2 dB of makeup gain. This yeah, it gives you a pretty tight compression. It's like immensely glue all the elements of the audio track. This is before. After. Yeah, it provides a pretty distinct color, right? Gluey, pretty tight. Next up, the Lindau SBC, another API emulation besides the API 2500 by Waves and the Pink by Acoustica. These emulations are made copying the circuits and like the sound of the real hardware unit, which is the API 2500. So for dB of gain reduction. So so the threshold is all the way down, but it's not getting 40 dB of gain reduction. It's just 3. I don't know why. Okay, now let me turn the gain up just 1. I have to boost more to compensate for that. 2 dB of makeup gain is not enough. It's not gonna be enough and sufficient. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, my bad. So it's got the gain reduction meter on the lower meter. It's not I was looking at the upper meter. So the gain reduction is over here. Oh my god. So I'm gonna back the threshold a little bit. So 4 dB. Okay. A little bit too much. So I made a mistake of reading the meter. Okay. Again. Okay, almost 4. Now before. After. Before. With the plugin. Yeah, it has this thing compression sound. Okay, next up the API from Waves. Let me recite the GUI of this. Okay, 4 dB of reduction. This is way too loud. This is before. I don't know why it's too loud. This is before. Even though I haven't touched, the output gain is inherently louder than the uncompressed signal. Why? This is uncompressed. This is compressed. Okay, with the output. Wow, it's such a powerful compressor. So we've got the final compressor, the last compressor of today's test, the BrandWorks Townhouse Bus Compressors. It's got a pretty riveting GUI, vintage one, and it has the same settings, knobs like the Waves. So let's get some compression. Okay, 4 dB. Now makeup gain. Okay. Excellent compression. This is before, after. Yeah, it does subtle and gentle compression just like the SSL come from waves. So there you go. I have tested, experimented a bunch of compressors that I've got in my compressor list, compressor collection. So I've got the transparent ones like HCOM, the Pro C2, and Ableton compressors. So nothing too special. So I didn't test them today. And I've got the Slate Digital compressors as well. And I think they all do pretty normal compression. Uh, and I've got a couple of um, pretty like compressors with pretty um, drastic and strong and heavy compression, like the Kive extressor. Um, Here, Kive extressor, the omnipressor from Eventide, the Chandler Limited Germanium compressor, the Chandler Limited Zener limiter, and yeah, yeah. Basically, these compressors do heavy compression, and yeah, I tried them in the previous test. So for this test, I just ran the loop through these compressors, and yeah, this test gives me a better understanding of the sound of uh, each compressor with this basic same setting. So yeah, it's about an hour and 33 minutes. So this is the first time I'm speaking in front of the OBS and my um, camera for that long. So yeah, goodbye for now. Gonna see you later. With maybe uh, upcoming tests for like EQ test or channel strip or tape machine tape or like reflective speaking. I haven't done this reflective speaking like this, like recording video for such a long time. So this time, I I think uh, I'm compensating for the past few weeks or past 2 months now. So yeah, so that's it for the test. Goodbye. I'm gonna upload these two videos on YouTube. Bye bye. Again, today is October 21st, 2024. Goodbye. Congratulations on this compressor test.